Hi, I'm Shayanti, the artist behind Shayanti Fine Arts. In today's video is an acrylic painting demonstration. Last month I started a new painting series where I am reimagining Disney princesses or characters as real people. And this is my second painting of that series. Last month I did Pochahontas, and this month I am presenting Elsa. I'm trying to portray how the characters, aka princesses, would look if they were real people. For Elsa, I chose the face of Daenerys Targaryan of the Game of Thrones fame. It just felt to me like the face of Daenerys was a perfect pairing for my realistic Elsa. But I would let you, the viewers, decide whether it actually worked or not. So let me know in the comment section. Did you like the painting? Did it work out or not? Your critiques and opinions mean a lot to me. They help me improve, they motivate me. So let me know your thoughts for sure. Before I talk about the painting process, I would like to mention that I was out of the grid for a couple of weeks. So ever since March 2017, I have been religiously posting 2 videos every week on my channel. And this is the first time that I took a 2-week-long break. And I tried to post as many updates as possible on YouTube and on all other social media platforms to make sure everybody knew that I'm going to take a break. But if any of you missed those updates, I owe you an apology and an explanation. I was moving houses and states actually, and that is why I had to take a break. But now I'm back for good, and thus the gap happened, but I'm hoping that it will continue smoothly like before from now on. Now back to the painting process. As usual, I started with a sketch, and I always do my sketch for portraits or any other paintings for that matter on a separate sheet of paper. The reason I do this is that it allows me ample opportunity to correct mistakes and keep changing the composition until it is accurate and up to my liking without getting the canvas surface dirty because of erasing or moving things around. And then once the painting or rather the sketch is completely ready and up to my satisfaction, I take a transfer paper and trace the drawing onto the surface of the canvas, and then the actual painting begins. Typically, I start from the background. This time it was a very simple background. I just like a blue background, a little grayish blue to kind of portray the Elsa kind of frozen kind of look of the wintry effect. And I had to do the background like in 2 or 3 layers to get the perfect look. Then I went on and started on the actual portrait or figurative part of the painting. When working with oils or acrylics, when I start painting the face, I put in the darkest areas first. I also try to put in the eyes first because the eyes are typically the darkest areas of the face because of the eyelashes and the eyebrows and all that. And it also kind of gives me a reference frame of how dark or light or how big or small the different areas of the face needs to be. This was my first time painting such light colored blonde hair, so it was a little bit tricky in the beginning, and the lesson learned is not to use any bright yellows. Typically when you're painting light colored hair, you would reach out for your yellows, but don't do that. Instead, mix in whites and browns and use yellow only sparingly to warm up your color mixture. Stick to your browns and whites, and if required, add in a little bit of blues and purples to get it dark, and stay away from yellow as much as possible. Now then onto the face, the darks and shadows on the face and in the entire painting that I've used, I've tried to stick to dark browns, purple and blue. and I have tried to not use black at all. The reason being, this painting has a very cool tones on it. Most of it is blue and very light colors. So if I used too much of black in it, it could dull it even further and spoil the beauty of the painting. So I kept away from dark the blacks in this particular painting. But in general, I do use a lot of black, so it's not that I advise you never to use black or anything like that. Use whatever works for you. Another important thing about this painting is, or rather painting any portrait, is painting in layers. For me, what gives a portrait a complete look is doing layers of glazes. The very first layer being just a base layer on which you build up the which provides you a platform on which you build up the final painting. And it also, painting in layers also allows me to do corrections as many times as required till I get the right look, especially if I'm trying to portray a face and trying to get the likeness of a face. There are multiple adjustments that's required, not only for values and colors, but just the shape of the mouth or eyes or eyebrows and all those things in general. And painting in layers of glazes just allows me ample room, ample opportunity to make corrections and make it look up to my satisfaction. So what I do is I establish a first base layer, and then I keep working and adjusting layers till it reaches my satisfaction level. And acrylics being a very fast drying medium, I can add many layers in a very small amount of time, because the drying time is so little that I almost don't waste any time on that. But in case of oils, I generally have to plan out a little bit more so that I can do as much work possible in one single sitting in one layer, so that if I have to allow time to dry completely, then it does not take up too much time. But also using a fast drying medium for oils help my process to make it fast a little bit. By the way, whatever information you might require about the materials that I've used in this particular painting, as usual, I've put that in the video description below, so check that out. The last part of the painting was to put in the snowflakes. Yes, for the frozen element, the Elsa element, the snowflakes and the ice flakes and snow is very important. So initially I put in quite a bit of snowflakes, and I did not work too much of the details in a little bit of grayish tone. Then I also flicked some white paint from a paintbrush to symbolize the stars and snowflakes, the blotches. And lastly, I added some bright white snowflakes and stars to complete the look. And now I leave it up to you to decide whether my Elsa looks like the Elsa of your dreams, and whether the painting worked or not. If you like the painting, give me a thumbs up for sure, and do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because if you hit the bell, then you get notifications every time I post a new painting video. See you soon. Thank you.